Well, my friends, I want you to meet somebody. Her name is Kristen Ferguson. She has longtime roots in Oneonta, although she doesn't live here anymore. She's now living in the South. And she has written a book, and it's out. And, I'm always interested in hearing about the stories and the passageways and the journeys of people who write books. So I thought we'd get Kristen on the phone this morning and find out all about it. Hi, Kristen. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Well, first of all, let's find out who you are.
I'm Chris.
Yeah, you're born here in Oneonta. Who's your folks?
I was. My dad is Roderick Little, and my mom is Donna Little, and then my in-laws also live in New York and Oneonta as well, and that's Angel and David Ferguson.
Well, they're so proud of you. What year did you graduate from Oneonta High School?
2002.
2002. And did you go to college?
I did. I went to SUNY Oneonta, and then I went on to FIT in New York City. I did the 3-1 program.
All right. All right. And then all of a sudden you woke up one morning and you said, I want to write a book.
I did. No, I've always loved reading, and I always wrote poetry growing up. It's kind of how I dealt with things and coped with things, and it was the best way for me to express myself. So it was kind of an easy transition. I just thought I had a really great story, so I decided to put it on paper.
So, all right, so you start writing it down on paper, and how long was the process for you to write the book? From the first time you went out and you bought a whole new box of beautiful white paper and some pencils, and you bought a pencil sharpener, and you sat down and you had your cup of coffee and you thought, now what? How long was that process from the start to finish?
It's been about 5 years.
5 years for this book.
Yes, it's been a long time in the making.
Wow. All right, we're going to tell folks how to get this book at the end, but I want you to tell us a little, what is the title, and give us a little bit of a thumbnail on the book.
Sure. The title is Torn, True Love. It's geared towards young adult, but I think it crossovers into, the older adult as well. It is post-World War III, where there's a lot of government control, and the main character, Krissa, has grown up in having these beliefs, and she feels that's what her life is supposed to look like until she falls in love, and the person she falls in love with is very anti-government and doesn't really want anything to do, so she's kind of torn and not sure which path to go down.
Where did you get this idea?
It just kind of all came together. I feel that not everyone, but a lot of people have that first love that just kind of rattles them, and they're not really sure where to go sometimes. So it started with that, and then just being torn between, do you really go the route that your heart tells you, even though it may not be the best thing, or should you follow what your instinct and your mind is telling you and to do the right thing?
Does your book reflect any personal experiences?
I was influenced by a lot of different situations. I mean, I used where I grew up as kind of the setting for the story. So, and I had a lot of people in my life that were very influential over the storyline. So I kind of came up with that and kind of based it off of some people that I knew, but overall, it's, not a biography or anything. It's definitely, fiction, and the whole, government control. I thought it was just kind of cool to give it a futuristic setting with real-life issues.
But at the core, it's a love story.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Was it hard to write a love story?
It was hard in the regards of I had some older friends of mine who are more into, the more in-depth romance novels, like the 50 Shades, and having them read it and tell me that it needs to be spiced up a little bit, it was hard to write those aspects of the book.
Yeah,
It's just, a little uncomfortable somewhat, and I did want to keep it geared towards the young adult, so I had to keep in mind of the readers.
Yeah.
It's that crossover, 16-year-olds can read it, but then up until, 35-ish, so it's kind of hard to walk that fine line of how much can I put in there.
All right, tell us what happened when you finished the book. There are several different ways to get a book published now. You can publish yourself. You can get an agent and go through that way, contact publishers, maybe, or e-books.
I didn't want to self-publish just because I wanted someone to feel inspired by my story and wanted to take a hold of it and just run with it. And I mean, in all honesty, I'm not claiming to be the best writer, so I wanted someone to look at my work and tell me how to improve it because I wanted to put the best story out there. So I just decided not to do the self-publishing route. So at first I tried to find an agent, and that was the hardest part of the process. I think that's what kind of halted the publishing aspect of it. That's what I think took the 5 years. So when I wasn't having any success with the agent, I decided to go to the publishing world themselves. And I found 2 publishers, and I reached out to them, and I decided to go with Rebel Ink Press. They are a smaller publishing house. It is more of the romance end of the books, but they really kind of took me under their wing and made my book the best that it could be.
Wow. How exciting.
Yeah, they've been amazing at helping me get my book to where it's at now.
Okay, so where is your book now? It's out. How do we get it?
My book is available on e-readers, so if you have a Kindle or a Nook or an iPad, you can get the Kindle app, or the Nook, you can just download right to that. You can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Those are the 2 main sites that you can purchase it on, and you can download it right to your e-reader. You can also get it on your PC, though. You would just have to download the Kindle app. So with sales doing well, it will hopefully, fingers crossed, go to paperback version. That's my ultimate goal. I want to have my book in hand.
Of course.
I love like the nostalgia of turning the pages in a book.
Now, let me ask you this. How long has your book been out?
My book has been out for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Are you getting any kind of feedback on it? You must be just in so much anticipation.
I am. I mean, the feedback that I've received has been really positive, and that was my biggest thing. I mean, I know there's reviewers out there that I don't know from Adam, and while their opinions matter, the people that I know that have followed me through this process, hearing their feedback means so much more to me because, you know, I trust their judgment, and I really care about what people think that I know. So far, it's been really good. So
well, we are just all so proud of you. Congratulations,
well,
Kristen
you
Ferguson.
So much.
Kristen Ferguson is her name. She's an Oneonta native, a graduate of Oneonta High School. She has her first book out called Torn True Love, and you can find it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. For all you folks with e-readers, and lots of people have Kindles and iPads, that's where you go to get it. And we wish you luck, and give us a call in 6 months when you're ready to go on the Oprah show.
Will do. Thank you again so much for having me.
My pleasure. Kristen Ferguson, thanks for stopping by this morning.
Thank you.